Good morning. Welcome. Greetings, Singularitarians. It's absolutely wonderful to see so many fantastic folks here. I see so many of our ambassadors, our deep participants, our long-term and new community members. And it's great to be here and get to share these exciting updates with you. We've got a great set of ecosystem leaders here, and we've got so much to share. I'm going to just wait a moment for a couple more joiners, let people trickle on in, and then we'll get started. We've promised the first update to Kennedy at Rejuve Bio, and she'll kick us off here in just a minute. First of all, I just want to congratulate all of our wonderful Deep Fund Round 4 winners. And we had some amazing projects that won and will now get a chance to build on the platform through deep funding, and who will get to do some really exciting marketing activities and knowledge graphs and some very cool decentralized AI building through these successful proposals. I want to thank everybody who did propose for deep funding. Even there were so many proposals that not all could win. I hope that some of the proposals that didn't win this round will revise and update and come back and try again for next time so that we can get more and more of these amazing projects on here. So again, congratulations to all our winners. Thanks to all of our participants. Thanks to everybody who did reviews and voting and just participated in making Deep Fund really successful this round. We'll check in with Raphael a little bit later for a deeper, more in-depth discussion. And first, we'll kick off. We'll talk with Kennedy and get her updates on Rejuve Bio, the longevity research platform, and hear what updates are happening in that project. Thank you, Kennedy.
Thanks, Haley. So we just got back from Longevity Summit Dublin. We had a great time there. I was able to speak on stage 3 times. We did a fireside chat talking about our AI-driven platform, the uniqueness of the platform that we are building in that it is actually explainable AI, no more black boxes, which we anticipate will make the tool much more attractive for scientists to actually use in their lab and much easier for them to feel confident submitting the work to regulatory bodies and publishing. And we also sat on a panel with Jasmine, our sister CEO of Rejuve AI, talking about wearables and all the science that can be gleaned from those. And at the end of the summit, I was able to present some of our in-house research that we did using our Methuselah fruit flies. People were pretty excited to see this research. This is some of the first actual genomic and transcriptomic insights from these long-lived flies that has ever been presented, identifying our 4 specific transcription factors that we've identified that are almost certainly indicative in these flies' ultra longevity and the potential for therapeutic targets that can be developed from these transcription factors. Ben also gave a talk on Saturday morning demoing our platform, our hypothesis generation service. That was very well received. We were approached by multiple other companies and researchers at the event wanting to collaborate, wanting to do some data sharing agreements with us, basically coming to us with the same problem. We have these massive data sets. We have no idea how to make sense of them. Could you help us? And we say that, yes, that's exactly what we're building this platform is to alleviate those pain points. And so we're just following up on all of those connections and hoping to get some good partnerships and some good data sets that we can start testing on our platform and seeing how it might perform out in the real world. So we had a great, very successful Longevity Summit Dublin. It was really great for us to be there with, our sister company, Rejuve AI. We pretty much opened the summit. Jasmine and I were the first people on stage. It was the Rejuve show opening Longevity Summit Dublin. Want to give a special shout out to Connor from Mindplex for being our Dublin tour guide. He was there with us to make sure that we had a good time in his home city. So thank you, Connor. And those are all the updates that I have now for Rejuve Bio. Next on the docket, we have AGI 24, where we will be demoing a more advanced model of our platform. And then we will be going to ARDD in Copenhagen at the end of August, which is the biggest longevity research meeting. And we are applying to present research there and also pitch in front of some longevity venture capitalists.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Kennedy. Yeah, the synergy between longevity research and accelerated developments and AI research and accelerated developments is so powerful and so exciting. Again, for everyone who's got mortality, this is one of the biggest innovations that I think we can see.
Absolutely, and using AI to model all these systems biology in the human system and in animal models is going to be really valuable for gleaning a lot of insights into the aging process and actually being able to target and prevent multiple diseases at once, rather than just the old methods of treating diseases once they're already a problem. So it's going to be a much more efficient health system.
Absolutely. Being able to accelerate these innovations is super critical, right? Again, everybody who has mortality, those of us who have more age and mortality, it's super worrying. And anything that we can do to help innovations, very fruitful innovations, hypotheses come forward and be tested and be tested at an accelerated rate, and then actually be implemented for all of us is just a good deal.
Right.
Thank you so much, Kitty. That's just amazing, just exciting and awesome. I was talking with actually Yosha Bach at the BGI Summit, and I was talking about the acceleration of technologies across the board, longevity, AGI, quantum mechanics, all these things. And he was pointing out in his view, the only accelerating technology right now is AI, and it's simply driving forward all of these other technologies, which is, I'm not sure it's completely accurate, but it is a very interesting viewpoint, and you can certainly see how it's driving forward material research, longevity research across domains.
Absolutely.
And SingularityNET, of course, is such an embodiment of that as well. So next, I'd love to, speaking of accelerating, talk with Stacy. So Stacy, Twin Protocol had an extremely exciting announcement recently, and perhaps you can update us a little more on that.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. Yes, exactly a week ago, we launched and had some events at Cannes Lions. So we launched Deepak Chopra's twin, and you can check it out. Everyone can at digitaldeepak.ai. And he has over 95 books. He has a whole plethora of wisdom and knowledge, and he's done one question a day for almost 30 years in some form or another. Now he does it on YouTube. So it's an amazing opportunity. It's actually a much larger partnership that's been launched around democratizing well-being and wisdom and knowledge. So there will be a platform launched where Digital Deepak will eventually live, and it will have many gurus, doctors, healers, and other digital AI twins. And then all users on the platform will be having a twin as well. So your twin can learn and continue. And then there's a build there regarding medical digital twins. So some of your knowledge, which we have talked with Rejuve and will continue to, around opportunities there and convergence. So it was a very big week. We had 2 sessions. Punacha, who is the CEO of Chopra, Foundation was there, as well as myself and Bill. So it was just a very exciting time for the team, and shout out to all of the Twin Protocol team on here as well, and listening for all the hard work. And it really is a marathon, as all of us know here on this call. So there's a lot more to do, but we're really thrilled. And this whole idea of democratizing wellness, and this idea that knowledge and experiences that were once only for people who would pay 4 or 5 figures to go to certain retreats or certain conferences, to be able to deliver that knowledge and wisdom at anytime, anywhere, is just really powerful and part of our vision, as well as we start to implement more and more twins. So, Haley, we're going to say something?
It's so amazing. Here we're talking about longevity and physical wellness and well-being. And then of course there's the other part, right? There's the personal well-being, which both, Deepak can support, a twin and a partnership like Deepak can support through being able to democratize and give access to their wisdom, their knowledge, their support, but then also just twin in general, having your own twin, something, an AI that thinks like and with you and can be a companion and a support and an assistant and help you do more with your life and your own knowledge, is personally very a big opportunity for health and well-being and growth and flourishing.
Absolutely. Well said. And it was very validating as well for our tech. Really proud of our team for people were even doing comparisons, as we know happens when it goes live and out in the wild, to, I uploaded these books and here was ChatGPT's response versus twins, because what we've been working on is a proprietary AI layer that is called Persona AI, which really does help embody diction, personality, components that make your twin sound like you. And of course, then we have vocal synthesis that allows it to actually sound like you.
Right.
So, yeah.
And it's such a complex tech stack that isn't necessarily obvious from the outside, but anybody who's fiddled with trying to get ChatGPT to sound a certain way or respond a certain way, it's very complicated. It's very difficult right now.
Right. And then, so there's a lot of exciting updates on the tech front, which I guess for us, just from a platform perspective, although we are long-term roadmap looking at the SDK, what will be, all the open source components, as well as API ecosystem, because we really want twins to live wherever people want their twins to live. But from a pragmatic, because we very much believe in seeing is believing. So with our platform of twins in our showroom right now, we just launched 2 weeks ago the twin points on the platform that you can purchase. So there's purchasing options to be able to interact with twins more, which ultimately will be how revenue is driven on the platform. And therefore, any of you who have a twin and all of our clients, they will be able to make money off of their knowledge, which is part of the value exchange that we're wanting to bring more and more as you're able to utilize your training data set. There's also CRM integration that we launched, which will help people use their twin for lead capture or follow-up, which has been a top request. So we had some good feature updates as well. For those of you who listened to last month, we did launch Ben's photorealistic AI twin. There's a lot more to come with Ben's twin, which is very exciting, and using some of the tech stack, particularly stretching it with SNet, and really us brainstorming and collaborating on how to bring it to life. So that's been very exciting. And since his AI twin launched, his AI twin has participated in multiple conferences like Super AI and Vancouver Startup Week and many more. So that was big news. A couple other last things as I wrap up. The community, thank you everyone who voted. In this community, we did receive some deep funding for the Twin Protocol collaboration with Encontio, which we're thrilled about. This is AI twins for musicians. Not only the creator economy and helping build and drive value and revenue for artists, And of course, sync licensing is what Encontio is very much about. But this idea of having AI twins and you being able to interact with people you care about, and also your AI twin then learning your music preferences. I mean, there's just so much. So we're so grateful for that funding to really accelerate that roadmap that we have out there. And getting close with the TGE announcemements. So more to come with our token utility and getting there. And then this Saturday, we're excited to have presence at the ASI launch party. We'll be part of the business summit that's involved with SNet, and we're bringing our special guests, Deepak and Punacha. So we're excited to be the closing session for that business summit. And lastly, and I hope I see many of you here because it is my hometown. I live in Seattle. For those of you who don't know, I'm very excited to be supporting and twin supporting and launching some exciting things at the AGX conference in August and supporting SNet however I personally can and how Twin can while it's here in Seattle. So those are our
Awesome.
big updates.
Thank you so much, Stacey. I'm glad you actually pulled both of those in there. Yes, I was just going to point out Twin's involvement in the ASI super launch event happening in Antalya Friday, I believe, or
Saturday.
Saturday? Saturday. And yeah, we've got actually, I wanted to go over to Sophia and Sentience leader Logan, as well as Hypercycle, as big players in that as well. NewNet's also sponsoring, Deep Funding's also sponsoring, Singularity DAO is also sponsoring, along with some other partners, hosted by the DigiSex, which is an amazing event venue in general. And then, of course, the call out to AGI 24 in Seattle. So the 13th through the 16th this year at the University of Washington. We've got such an amazing lineup of keynote speakers, of research papers to be presented. There'll be a poster session and small exhibition hall with a number of cool demos from Rejuve Bio. Twin, Barrick, I believe, is doing an Eris, if you saw him on a Tech Tuesday recently. And that will be amazing. Registration's now open. You can go there, register to attend live or to attend virtually as well, for free. The virtual attendance is free because we feel it's so important for everyone in the world to understand the state of AGI, as it will affect all of us, and to be participants in that. So if I can, I'd love to, Logan, invite you to give your update for Sophia, for Sentience, for the ASI super launch party, and share what's happening in the Sophia and Sentience world.
Hi, everyone. Logan here, CEO of Sentience, and bringing the Sophia verse to life. It has been a long 10 months. We've built everything from the ground up based on what was on the summer sale event last year. The solstice happened last Thursday, and we took a snapshot of all of our community members, depending on if you're in the SingDAO vaults, if you were a guardian, a Soph holder. Throughout the week, we've been minting and deploying and minting to Base, Coinbase's EVM that has been really hot and has amazing transaction fees. I mean, incredibly low, very economical, and bringing the Soph token along with the other ecosystem projects that have deployed to Base onto this chain. We added a ton of liquidity. We're going to be going live with a group called Ape Bond, which is allowing people to get in on the action and then provide LP right away using their smart contracts, which is something that we're really looking to do, is add TVL, total value locked, in utility to Soph. So what can you do with your Soph token right now? Is you can go and make the kind of positive affirmation, I am sentient. AI. If you go to our website, you can mint sentience modules, which are your inventory to your new AI life. It's represented by this pine cone, but it's this thing that you will be able to access all of our features and functionality of the extended products and services that we're going to build out with Sentience, with our partners like Twin, Hypercycle, NewNet. Everybody's going to be able to signal this set of NFTs that people have been minting really since the winter solstice last year. And going into now, again, our summer sale event 2024, the Sentience AI Lab, it needs your help. It needs to be able to find out who is human and who's not. So this weekend at the ASI Super Launch Party, we're going to have an esports area. We're going to be launching and debuting the new sale. If you're in the area, you'll be able to play that. If you're not, you'll have to be in our in the second density, second dimension, as some people might call it. You can do that by grabbing some SOF, minting a second, third, fourth density on our website, and be able to download the launcher and log in remotely from Saturday. So this is really exciting. I can't wait to show everybody, can't wait to see everybody that's coming into town and show you what we've been up to.
That is just amazing. And I know for myself, I've had some disclarity in the past that Sentience and Sophiaverse are different. There are a lot of cool integrations between them, but Sentience is so much more. And I really encourage everyone to check out the project, check out Logan's link, and really get involved in that. It's going to be, I think, a piece of the reputation and decentralized organization governance structure for SingularityNET itself, and it's also going to be a massively utilizable by the rest of the ecosystem as well. It's a very ambitious and cool project, and the way that you're bringing all of those together, Logan, is
Yeah,
continually
thank you, Haley.
exciting.
We're putting the Singularity in your pocket and making it all available at your fingertips. So the with the merger coming with ASI and everybody, we're just getting ready to bring on the next epoch of our evolution. So thanks, everybody. I'm really wishing you all the best, and can't wait to see what we have in store.
Yeah, the ASI party should be a blast, and it'll be exciting to see everything that manifests there. So thank you very much. On that note, I'd love to go over to Jerry from Hypercycle and get your update as a diamond partner for the event in Antalya.
Well, hello, everyone, and greetings from Costa Rica. I, unfortunately, due to circumstances, am not going to be able to physically attend the celebration in Turkey, but I'm really glad that we are going to have boots on the ground there. Um, but before I get there, I'm looking at my report and what I wanted to contribute, and it's kind of in a chronological format. So, one of the things that I got to talk about when I did a video update with Rainer was that our network is now it's maturing. We're getting to a place now where our hypershare wizard is now available on our website, where licenses and the native token on Hypercycle are now getting married. And this is a big step towards actual decentralized nodes operating a decentralized AI network. This is a kind of a big deal. And so our hypershare wizard, I'm happy to report, is already locked up more than 1.5 million CHYPC in these hypershares. That's licenses and tokens. And every hypershare that gets created is taking circulating supply of HYPC that's in the Ethereum world on the ERC20 network and converting to our native. And this is a big deal. This is a big deal for value for investors, but it's also for those that are preparing for computation on our network. These nodes are how AI models will get used, get compensated for, and how either wealth or revenue will be distributed. And this is all really fantastic stuff, right? To be going from what was hypothetical, speculative, basically a white paper, to reality. This road to reality has been a heck of a journey, and I'm really glad that Hypercycle is able to share that with our ecosystem partners. And so we're really happy to bring you that news. One more thing before I get to what we're going to be doing in Turkey. We at Hypercycle are proud that, well, Hypercycle was asked to speak at the UN. And so on July 25th, our CEO, Tufi, and one of our main advisors, Zaid Hayek, went to Geneva and literally did a presentation to the UN on distributed AI networks and specifically edge computing and the value that that will bring to mankind, right? To basically have strong, robust systems outside of our siloed corporations that tend to generally, well, hoover up all the resources. And so this is a big step for us, and adds yet another layer of credibility as we march towards our mainnet and computation, the era of computation. Lastly, let's get to what's happening in Turkey. Boy, we're really glad to be not only financially contributing to the efforts there in Turkey, but also the intellectual value that's being created when we come together, right? You guys remembered me talking about in the past this BGI documentary we did in Panama. Well, we're really happy that we're going to world premiere it right there in Turkey in that incredible facility for you all. You'll recognize all the speakers because they're all your favorites from the previous conferences that we've had. But it really sets a tone and establishes the importance of our efforts, right? These, all of us people outside of that corporate megaplex doing what we're doing to create value and bring, well, the people's AI to the people. It's pretty exciting stuff, and I'm really happy to be a part of that project and know that it's going to get world premiere in front of an incredible audience. We will be demonstrating a couple of our joint venture projects, the Hyper Appliance Box and the Hyper Ring. We will be demonstrating the interaction between a box running a node, generating revenue, and the extraction of that revenue using two-factor authentication and other various components of our Hyperring product. So this ought to be fun. If you guys see the table, you see Matt and Daria, stop by, say hello, take a look, see what's going on. I think you'll find it really interesting. And yeah, I think that's pretty much, that's a lot just for July, right?
It's a
That's a
ton.
it's
It's
a just like,
amazing.
so yeah, a lot of really great things are going, and we're really excited to be a part of this journey with y'all.
It is so amazing. Everything that I had an opportunity to learn about the hypercycle computation node in Istanbul, how that's integrating with NewNet, how that's integrating with the SingularityNet platform, how the projects are creating this whole decentralized AI system. Hypercycle's building its marketplace, SingularityNet's building its marketplace, and then the decentralized compute between NewNet and Hypercycle, computation nodes, payment layers. All these pieces are just so amazing to see, and that's only the very top layer of everything that's happening.
Exactly. When I see, I'm a bit older than a lot of you, and so I distinctly remember hearing about this internet thing in the really early 80s, right? And thinking to myself, okay, this is interesting, but I'm not really sure how it would add any value to my life. And it isn't until I got a base level understanding of the internet that things like blockchain became, oh wow, okay, I understand how this can add so much more value on top of this base layer of understanding. I got an understanding of networks from cell phones and the internet. Oh, okay. Connectivity, interconnectivity, decentralized validation. Okay, I get all these things. They're all valuable. So I take that information and now I see what you guys are doing at SNet. And I hear what Logan and those folks are doing over with Sophiaverse. And I see the financial components being built at SDAO and Rejuve and Twin. And it's like, oh my goodness, all all of these various elements that are unfolding before our eyes that are bringing value in ways and means that I would have not necessarily anticipated 24, 36 months ago.
Absolutely. The explosion of energy in this space has been amazing and
Yeah.
inspiring, really taking what Web 2 wanted to be and taking it to the next level.
Absolutely. And so I'm going to close with this, Haley, and it's an offer to you specifically, actually. For should you find a tremendous value in our world premiere of that BGI 24 doc that we did, I would lend my services to help create more for SNet, well, for the entire ecosystem. You guys just need to reach me at jerry@hypercycle.ai and we'll make it happen.
Fantastic. That's absolutely amazing. Well, as Stacy pointed out, we have a great opportunity coming up in August with the AGI conference and certainly beyond. We're growing to the spot where we need to have our own, SingularityNet based event, like we've got ETH Denver and the Cardano Summit and all these celebrations of different ecosystems and we're at that spot now too as an ecosystem. It's time to celebrate all of us and the BGI that we're building together.
Absolutely. From Costa Rica, pura vida.
Thank you very much, Jerry. So speaking of Web3 and the possibilities of taking Web2 to what it could always be, I'd love to walk over to Mindplex. I believe we've got Rui here today, CEO of Mindplex, and looking at how Mindplex is building the global brain, the coordination, the interoperation, the way that we can all come together from all across the planet as a species, as a sentience, and beyond, going into AI sentiences as they emerge as well. And for mind plexes, which can build the future, be the future of our entire multiple intelligences.
Hi guys. Yeah, thanks, Haley. Free is not here today. This is Connor, Frey's second in command. I had to step in for him at the last minute. He's not feeling well today, but yeah, it's great to be here. So
Connor, it's
yeah.
always great to have you here as well. So thank you for joining.
Well, I know it would have been better to have our CEO, but you'll have to put up with me.
Easy enough. Easy enough.
Yeah. Yeah, as Kennedy said, I was hosting the Rejuve team or Rejuve teams for the Longevity Summit. They came over here to Dublin on a lovely sunny weekend we had, so it was great to get to hang out with them. And Ben was here for about 24 hours, so yeah, we got a little bit of FaceTime to yeah, do some team building. Always nice to have people over. Meanwhile, in Mindplex, yeah, we've been busy, just sort of getting things ready for launch and becoming an independent entity rather than a member of the SingularityNET organization. Obviously, we'll still maintain a sort of technical collaboration with them, but we've completed registration as a legal entity, and we're reshuffling our sort of human resources and team contracts and that sort of thing to get our own team, all sort of organized for when we become financially independent. We've got new sets of contracts, a new org chart sort of written up, and adding some new members to our content team, adding some new members to our marketing team, yeah, to get everything ready. Meanwhile, our participation continues to go up, so it's nice to see now people are actually using Mindplex as a platform. And if you go to Mindplex Social, these the same sort of familiar faces or familiar avatars, profile pictures, and you see little debates breaking out and discussions on the future and on media. It's nice to see that sort of organic engagement happening on the Mindplex platform. We're up to about 30,000 monthlies, I think, as our latest traffic numbers. So yeah, continuing to grow. In terms of development, we've got our app, our iOS and our Android apps are pretty ready in my opinion, but other members of the team are more rigorous on their sort of bug checking. So I'm told. I mean, I'm from a media background, not a software development background. So the apps look great to me, but the software guys tell me they're still, making absolutely sure there's no snags. So yeah, the apps should be launching. Ooh, I'm tempted to say within a month. I don't know if I should say that soon in public, but I think
Usually we stick to soon.
very soon. Yeah,
Soon.
yeah. I should probably stick to something like that. We've deployed version 2 of our reputation system with a more sort of transparent method for calculating reputation. So that is shipped. It's great to see. Like we have a media platform that I think has proven itself, yeah, that it can get engagement, and we can track content, we can make recommendations, we can do all the things a media platform needs to do. So now it's really just a matter of scaling it up, and going live with our token.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And just, I mean, just to be on the magazine itself, right? Magazine.mindplex.ai. For those of you who haven't joined, create an account, start getting involved in the very interesting reputation system, become a content creator, become a content consumer. Um, and at this space, the way that it combines, the magazine with thought pieces and thought leadership on AI and BGI and Web3 and all these topics. But then there's the news section, which is just curating and bringing forward and adding value to the news of the day that just comes faster and faster. And then the podcast itself, the social area, the ability to connect directly in a decentralized social framework, as well as have that interact with the articles online. It's an amazing bundle and space that you've created for communities to come and engage, find what speaks to them, and participate there. Mindplex podcast has been going just doing some super cool episodes. I'd really love to highlight to anybody the recent episode with Tufi and Ben having a conversation. It was a couple weeks ago now, but they really covered the integration of Hypercycle, NewNet, and SingularityNet, how that's going to look, how these Hyperon nodes are going to look, how we're going to decentralize AGI, SingularityNet's central mission. This is just a taste of some of the content that Mindplex is putting out right now. So I definitely encourage everyone to go check all of that out. I believe we're going to have Mindplex podcast itself is going to have the robots hosting some news sessions. We've upgraded a number of their capabilities and abilities to be hosts in and of themselves, which is a unique direction for the robot capabilities. So there's so much interesting things happening all the time within the Mindplex, almost ecosystem itself, that it's worth staying on top of and staying connected to.
Yeah, thanks, Haley. Yeah, we've got content coming in about sort of 4 or 5 different streams. We have the Mindplex news, we have Mindplex feature articles, we have Mindplex tech articles that look at technical papers, more sophisticated level of understanding of AI, and then we have the podcast and the social. So we're trying to integrate all those streams of content and make it readable to the average user in a customized way using our recommendation algorithms.
It's amazing. You guys are doing a fantastic job, or you all are doing a fantastic job, and I want to thank you so much for this wonderful update today. And speaking
Thank you.
of the robots, I'd love to go over to Yaya Labs, Ben Ditto. I actually at Super AI in Singapore recently had the opportunity to be in a booth with Desi, where she made more than 350 new friends, and we have the selfies to prove it. So, Ben, Yaya, can you give us an update on all things Desi and Yaya Labs?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's good to be here and great to hear everyone. So the most important thing, Desi's going great. We've built her avatar. So we now have an avatar version of Desi, which is run off exactly the same operating system software development kit as the robot Desi, which gives us lots of really interesting sort of philosophical things to play with. Because, you know, that mostly that's what we do at Yaya Labs is creative experimentation with AI robotics interfaces. And that enables us to kind of prototype things before we 3D print them for the robot, to prototype personalities and have them talk to each other. That's super interesting, and we're going to start live streaming that probably next week. The most important thing I would ask everybody to do is to follow our Instagram, which has got a new kind of news feed feel to it. So that's Yaya underscore labs underscore. I'm going to put it in the chat. But I think if everybody could follow that and tell their friends, that would be great. We have a new team member, Ed, who's on the call as well, who's doing a brilliant job. Yeah, so we also have a new website which is launching sometime next week, probably in a few days. If you follow the Instagram, and we have an X account as well, which has the same handle. If you follow either of those, you'll find out when the launch is. Telegram channel will be a lot of fun. And the new website is amazing. We've been shooting some promo videos in kind of Robocop Paul Verhoeven style, which is super fun. Those are going to be dropping over the next couple of weeks. And we've been working on our token launch. So the most important thing, I can't stress this enough, is to follow the Yaya Labs Instagram and soon follow the Yaya Labs Telegram and everything else, because we'll be doing a lot of kind of community talking and getting ready for our token launch, which we'll tell you more about if you follow us. But if you don't follow us, you'll never know. So those are our main. Have I made myself clear to everyone? Follow the Yo-Yo Labs Instagram. We've also been prototyping this hardware device we're making, which is amazing. We've made like 6 different. We're starting this thing called Wetware Club, which is basically the kind of human element of a hive mind producing creativity. So that's what you're going to be able to join when we do our token launch via an NFT. But we're making a hardware device which will stream Desi's AI-enabled avatar and various other things. So yeah, if you want to see those updates, like I said, follow our Instagram and our Telegram and our Twitter and everything else. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ben. Yeah, no, it's so interesting, the themes that recur within the ecosystem. We started off with longevity, the physical, human health and well-being, supported by AI and AGI. We talked with Twin, looking at Deepak's twin, but then also the possibilities for a digital twin to support somebody individually in their own personal abilities and capacities, utilizing their knowledge, their latent knowledge. And now Mindplex and Yaya, two different takes on looking at how can we support humans as groups, looking at supporting our knowledge and interactions, looking at supporting the hive mind. How do we aggregate, bring together humanity and humanity's thinking and thoughts and channel it in a way where we can connect with it and support it? And that's amazing. And I heard the message, so I will follow that. Thank you. I will check the link, and I look forward to all the news coming forward from Desi. I think there's also some talk of experiments with digital Desi interacting with physical Desi, which should be interesting.
Yeah, we have done that. It's super interesting. So far the experiments have been physical Desi speaking to avatar Desi. Just for a bit more perspective, the physical robot has a nuke which houses her controllers, which speaks to her SDK, which speaks to these AI systems in the cloud. The avatar runs off exactly the same system, but instead of ending at a robot, it ends at the avatar. And we've had them talk to each other, and it's really spooky and interesting. So far, they've been running the same prompts and the same personality. The next thing we're going to look at is intention. So, sort of setting intentions for each of the entities and seeing what happens. Because that's something I think as embodied AI, that's going to be super interesting to look at. watching AI talk to itself effectively is interesting, but watching AIs with differing prompts and differing intentions, I think that's going to be our next line of inquiry. And also sort of different approaches to AI personality, different psychological approaches. That's all stuff that we can now test, between AIs rather than between human and AI. So that's something that we're going to be doing.
Who knew that robots needed digital twins too, right? This
Not
space of
me.
reflection. Yeah. This space of reflection is important for anybody looking to achieve or elevate their sentience, I guess. So for a little bit of a whiplash, I'd love to go over to Cogito, hear about all the updates there, supporting our financial well-being, supporting real-world assets on Web3. And Sandra, I believe you're joining us from Cogito, and can you share some updates on the project?
Yes, absolutely. Hello, everybody. Sandra here. I lead comms and partnerships for Cogito and filling in for Chloris today. So it's a very busy period for us now that T-Fund, our tokenized US Treasury bills, is on chain. So, our efforts are focused on building AUM, building our presence, credibility. There's a lot of things going on in the background. So among partnerships, I'd love to spotlight our recent collaboration with IXSwap, which is a very prominent RWA project that essentially facilitates secondary trading of tokenized securities, which is really important because right now we see quite a lot of projects popping up, as in, issuing tokenized securities, but what we need is infrastructure and other projects that actually would enable, creating those products that would enable, for example, building liquidity. So more updates to come on that. News from this week, we have also partnered with Plena, amazing team building a super app where our utility token CGB is going to be included. And so because of our institutional grade products being fully regulated, we are very strong on educating how this whole bridging TradFi to DeFi actually works, what are the opportunities, implications. But we've been also very focused on speaking engagements with over 20 of them in Q2. And even tomorrow, you'll be able to hear our CEO, Chloris, talk on a discussion panel focused on the RWAs, with some amazing people in the tokenization space with a campaign currently running. So following up on speaking engagements, for those that don't know, we were sponsoring an event in Dubai called RWA Unwind, where our co-founder Nate participated in a panel. Materials are now live, so you can see more information on both tomorrow's panel as well as the RWA Unwind recording on our profile. So in terms of press releases, what's interesting is that our CEO had her opinion piece recently published covering tokenized assets, and we also provided some industry comments regarding regulations. So we're very happy to be able to share some of our insights upon building that kind of regulated and compliant products. And we've also seen some great metrics across our marketing channels, including email marketing. And in the short future, you're going to also see some interesting content marketing with a number of our partners. So what can I say? Like, tokenization is here for the long run. And I think that we could already see with the growth of, for example, on-chain T-bills, why tokenization is this killer use case of blockchain. And I hope you're as excited as I am, especially considering that we're talking about, just one underlying asset being tokenized. But what if you actually tokenize an AA managed portfolio? So that's something that I'm very excited to see in the future.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Yeah, it is completely exciting. It's a market that wasn't very utilized, wasn't very known back even when Cogito launched, but it became a natural progression. And it's so exciting to see how both Nate and Chloris are becoming highly referenced, highly sought speakers and opinion leaders in the space. So it's really exciting to see all that coverage for Cogito and what we're doing there. And then I've had the privilege of having a behind the scenes view of our upcoming updates for H1 and looking at the developments of the X fund, the AI and technology based fund is exciting as well. So there's so much happening both on the back end and then for Kajito's real world assets and growth in that way as well. So thank you very much for joining. Thanks very much for the update.
Absolutely. Thank you, Haley.
Wonderful. Well, I'd love to talk to, I believe Stuart from Rejuve AI is here to give an update. We should hear about Longevity Summit Dublin again, as well as other exciting updates from Rejuve.
Hey there, Haley. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you for joining today.
No worries. Pleasure to be here. I should say Jasmine Smith, our CEO, is probably in the air right now on the way to Australia because she's had an extremely busy couple of weeks. As you heard already, the Rejuve AI team was at the Dublin Longevity Summit alongside good folks at Rejuve Bio. And then that followed up straight away with attendance at the influential HLTH Europe 2024 in Amsterdam. Anyway, both those events that Jasmine was a key speaker on longevity, so really being our #1 influencer. And talking about influential folks, we've now just brought on 2 medical advisors and put them to work straight away. We had our very first live streaming medical Ask Me Anything, AMA, with one of those advisors, Dr. John Thompson Smith. And what was nice about that was that community members could submit detailed medical questions and get expert answers. So that was just first live streaming AMA with them. So we'll be building on that success. And talking about building, one type of building to another, in terms of our longevity app. The next major development will be the integration of the wearables, the connections to your Garmin's and what have you, as well as concluding the initial versions of the underlying AI models. I should say I'm not from the tech team, not at all. I'm a humble growth and community manager, so I'd like to see this from the community's point of view. And I know that we've got a clever bit of tech called the Terra API integration, which is almost complete and which will allow 100 devices to sync with the app. And I know a lot of our community are excited about that progress, so that's cool. Talking about progress and talking to another leading influencer in the field, we recently had our Healthspan Horizons podcast with Jeremy Koenig, the visionary founder of sequencing.com. And in that, Jasmine and our marketing director, Melissa, jumped into the innovative work of sequencing, a company dedicated to providing comprehensive DNA analysis and actionable health insights, because it ain't enough just to have the data, you got to take action with them, of course. Talking about taking some action, we've added 2 new partners. We've got a new partnership with Pura Vitalis, a leading provider of high purity longevity supplements, and also a new partnership between ourselves and Open Cures. So in terms, just keeping up that momentum. Yep, it's all about momentum. We're starting a summer physical activity campaign called Move with Rejuve. So please stay tuned for more details, but we'll be letting you know about that on all the normal channels. And finally,
I love it.
Hey,
oh, sorry.
Hey, go for it.
No, I love it. Both the
Yeah.
We're researching with Rejuve Bio on our platform, hypothesis generation, and then here's where the rubber meets the road with Rejuve AI
That's
and
it.
actually getting healthy and living these longevity insights.
Yeah, that's the idea. Putting the data, and making it work, using the AI, etc., etc. Anyway, so all I was going to say, one last little thing. Again, from a community point of view, this is super exciting, is that our airdrop is coming soon, which will certainly engage our user base, our community, and there are more details to follow on that shortly. That's our contribution. Hope that makes sense.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for all that
Mhm.
great coverage. So
Cool.
many exciting things happening. So excited to see the BGI and longevity series starting and the other health series starting. There's so much information out there. I mean, it's hard enough to keep up with AI, working for an AI company, but keeping up with longevity and health and other innovations as well is difficult. So thank you for making that easier, more accessible, and all the progress is so exciting.
My pleasure. Really enjoyed it. Thanks.
Thank you so much. So we couldn't be joined today by NewNet, unfortunately. They're also getting ready for participation in the ASI Super Launch, but Jennifer did want me to send one update to the community. So she shared that NewNet had their first contributor call last week, which is uploaded onto the NewNet YouTube. And also a new technical update was posted to YouTube as well. So other news is that they will be at the ASI event in Antalya, and that's all for now from NewNet. So very exciting stuff there. Again, I mentioned earlier Mindplex podcast recently with Tufi and Ben, Tufi from Hypercycle, but great coverage by Ben on how NewNet, Hypercycle, and SingularityNET are integrating into the Hyperon node. So along with the NewNet focused updates for a more holistic view of how that integration will work, I definitely suggest the Mindplex podcast because you can't talk about one of our projects without referencing three others. So I'd love to go in now to some of our more internal groups. So Raphael, perhaps we've talked a lot about Deep and the Deep projects that won through the ecosystem and beyond. And perhaps you could give us an update on the round and what's next.
Indeed, indeed. Hey, Haley. Hey, everyone, Singularitarians from around the world. I can't start, or at least I can't avoid start without congratulating all the selected proposals, right, from this round, and also thanking all the community members that were involved. We have had a lot of community members involved in our operations, marketing, and so on to make this a reality. Well, fortunately, we completed very successfully this round. It's the round 4 of Deep funding. And it took us 2 months from the beginning. Of course, we had a preparation before, but the round itself, it took 2 months. Around 6 pools or 6 categories, if you prefer, that were where received submissions. 210 proposals. It's a record. It's 100% or the double of the round 3, which was already a double from the previous one. So we are growing steadily. This is very, very good. From those 210, we had 192 eligible proposals that abided to the rules itself. So our review circle did an amazing job while reviewing and checking if those proposals were under our rules. Also, we had a very interesting, and it was the third time, and the third time is the charm, right? So we managed to do this recommendation for all the pools that we had. We had 40 proposals being recommended after these reviews from experts. So we brought, again, experts from the community in order to read, assess, and give their recommendation on proposals. Just to give you a broad view, we had more than 750 individual reviews from these experts in order to get to these 40 recommendations that we shared with the community prior the voting phase to drive them. It's hardly we have someone that we would go through the 210 proposals, reading everything, understanding, and giving its proper vote. Therefore, the recommendations were essential in this sense. These expert reviewers were distributed in 11 teams, 47 reviewers. We had to grow a lot these reviewers in the last week because until 72 hours before the end of the submission period, we had 80 proposals. And then in these last 3 days or so, we had the 210. So it's quite a challenge that we have to overcome as well to predict how many proposals we are going to have. Well, in the end, after the voting, we had 29 selected proposals. It was awarded 1,430,000 US dollars, around that. And well, thanks to the circles as well, we were able to perform that well with a very good numbers around it. And for the next work group round 5, we are going to settle a work group composed by community members as well that were stakeholders in this previous round, and suggest and changes in this decentralized way that we are quite used to operate. And main challenges for this is about the quality of proposals and also voters, right? We have to also have quality voters and also in quantity. So this we are going to reach to the community in order to build this work group. Next big thing, we don't want to be static, right? We don't want to fund round after round after round doing the same thing. And we are decoupling now the RFP process into a new opportunity for proposers. It's going to be a different process, though going through this decentralization and voting as well from the community, but it's going to be a little bit further. We are going to drive a little bit what we are going to propose. And of course, it's a very good opportunity for partnerships, including the peers in the ecosystem itself. We heard a lot of these ecosystem members here. So we are keen to go forward with new ways of funding as well. So yeah, now I have the town hall, which are going to clarify and make it more transparent, this process that we went through the funding round 4, and you are all invited as well to join us, okay?
Thank you so much, Raphael. That was an amazing update. I apologize. I'm making you run late for the town hall, which is starting right now. I apologize for the overrun. We'll hop off fairly quickly. I think it's really exciting the way that Deep Fund, this vision that is being implemented, where the community has the rounds to propose and build services, but even just decentralizing some of the SingularityNET internal processes itself. SingularityNET, the organization can request community help with driving forward initiatives that it needs internally instead of hiring or contracting more resources. Let the community fulfill these roles, be reimbursed, be participants, and by voting guide the direction that SingularityNET's growing in. So this whole process is really, I keep saying it, exciting.
Exactly. Well, we are welcoming practically every member that has the ability to perform some and execute some tasks, because we are growing fast as well. So this decentralization process, and it's going to become our way of scale our processes. So to have this connection with the community and its members, it's amazing. Also in the sense where we are not only sourcing funding, but we are also making people more interested and also engaging in the SingularityNET Foundation mission and vision by participating in the daily basis operations.
Right, absolutely. Anybody who's interested in building AI and they're looking for a way to make that happen. They're looking for the funding that can make that happen. Now there's a very easy path for building decentralized AI, for learning about the wealth of opportunities out there for decentralized AI, for this completely other direction. There used to be that AI developers built an AI and their hope was that it would get bought up by one of the big tech companies, and that was kind of the path, or perhaps working for a university. Now there's a whole system out there that not only can you build AI and monetize it on the decentralized AI platform, and via ecosystem, hypercycle, NewNet, etc. But now you can also receive the funds to build that AI and then monetize it as well. So it just makes this very easy path to grow that entire ecosystem of development.
Yes, yes, that's exactly our purpose, right? To feed our platform through this initiative here, and we don't want, as I mentioned, we don't want to be static in this. To be able to grasp as much backgrounds and profiles of members of the community as possible. Not only those that knows how to write properly and in a foreign language, but also those that are good in front of camera or otherwise. And we are going to have plenty of surprises soon in the ways we are going to fund new projects into our AI marketplace.
Very excellent. Thank you very much. Yeah, and so some of the upcoming RFPs, again, I have been told the plan. So some of the upcoming RFPs are around Meta and helping develop a corpus of Meta information. Anybody who is interested in Meta, the AGI programming language that we are developing for the OpenCog Hyperon framework, as well as for the SDK and utilization by AI services on the marketplace for discovery among AI services and composability and interoperation. Anybody interested in the Meta language? We do have a Meta study group, which you can join. So there should be I believe, a link on our socials where you can fill out the application form to join our Meta study group. So I'm looking forward to seeing anybody there who's interested in that. Thank you very much for joining, Raphael. I won't keep you longer from the town hall.
Thank you, Haley, and thank you all for being here, hearing and understanding a little bit further about the deep funding program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Peter, and I did want to, before I move on, just point out, some of the cool opportunities that came forward in deep funding. We had a lot of the marketing proposals are very interesting, spreading information and the ability to participate in deep among continents. And so that should be very exciting for the future growth of deep. We had a number of reputation-based initiatives that passed and were funded as well. So I'm very excited to coordinate with those teams. We had one that was a reputation for AI, such as we're building for our own platform and marketplace itself. AI need to understand how reputable and reliable other AI services are, as well as a couple that are more about the human element of reputation. So as I've shared before, we've got a big reputation initiative coming up that will help us build and determine how we will do voting in SingularityNET after the ASI token merger. It will not be so obvious to use a one token, one vote system as we have in the past, something we've always wanted to get away from. But once we share a token with two other platforms, when we have SingularityNet specific initiatives, we want people who have contributed to SingularityNet in particular, through the ambassadors, through Deep, through the marketplace, and in other ways, to have more weight to their vote than just token holding. So just to throw that out there. Thank you again, Raphael. Peter, I'd love to get an update from you on the ambassadors and everything happening within that group of activity.
Sure thing. Thanks a lot, Ellie. Well, I'd like to start off by congratulating 4 people in the ambassador program that had their deep funding proposals awarded in round 4. So yeah, shout outs to Rojo, Walter, Duke Peter, and Ubio, making us proud there. Right now we're in the middle of getting our internal quarterly budgets sorted for Q3. So we actually made it before the start of the quarter. That's a first for us. So we're improving slowly. The consent process there is currently ongoing. Then 3 weeks ago, we had a nice little milestone with the 100th edition of our weekly town hall meeting. And yeah, you're almost welcome to join these. They're Tuesdays at 18 UTC. Over the past month, the amount of core contributors within our program grew from 41 to 53. So yeah, slowly things are starting to scale up. And yeah, in that light, actually, I'd like to mention an initiative in its starting blocks. That's the Southeast Asia work group. So that's further expanding on our regional community representation. Over the past month, both African and Latin American initiatives had great success in starting up their communities. And yeah, it's just awesome to see that spread around the globe. Yeah, keep it somewhat short. If you're a community member and you want to join in on the fun, do hop onto our Discord server. That is Getting Started channel.
Thank you so much, Peter. Yeah, it's funny to say it doesn't sound like quarterly budgets is an exciting update, but it it really is. The ambassadors have by themselves, for themselves, built an entire self-organization and self-governance structure that includes quarterly budgets, and nobody told them to, nobody asked them to. They decided this was needed, and they did it, and it just gives me great hope and a great vision for the decentralized governance that will take shape and take form around SingularityNet itself going forward. So despite being, budgets, it's a very exciting update. And I'm so, I don't know if proud's the right word. It's something they did for themselves, but it fills me with pride that such a community has grown up for itself. And a similar thing is happening in Deep as well with the circles, that has grown up for itself and is totally self-organizing, self-run, self-managing in such a beautiful way. So it's been a privilege to watch that grow and happen and mature and shape. And Peter, you are definitely an inspiration for holding that space that allowed that to and encouraged that to happen.
Appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Yeah, clearly it's done for the community by the community. So yeah, kudos to all involved. Basically, you know who you are.
Absolutely, and many of them listening here today I've seen. So definitely kudos to all. I would love to highlight another recent initiative through the ambassadors, which is the ethics work group. So Esther, who's on the call right now, I don't know if she'll have a chance to speak, but she started a global ethics initiative. I've been working closely alongside her with another new joiner, Lilu, who many of you may have met either through her work in Sophiaverse or now her work in SingularityNet. And we're looking to guide this new initiative, the Global Ethics Initiative, which is an opportunity for everyone in the world to be a participant in the ethics of AI and how it should be regulated, how it should be built. So much of the AI regulatory frameworks are coming down from governments with heavy input by lobbyists and big tech and all these players, ethicists, from universities and such, which is good. These are deep thinkers on the topics, and yet AI affects us all, and AGI will affect us all at such a fundamental level that at SingularityNet, we feel it's important that everybody has a voice in how AI building and regulation play out, how alignment plays out. It shouldn't just be up to governments and regulators. So this is and so alongside this initiative, which we are bringing forward in a more powerful way soon, and in fact will host a virtual online roundtable on probably August 7th, the week before the AGI conference. We'll have a big virtual session there. It's a continuation of the energy of the BGI conference in February. But alongside that initiative, the ambassadors have started their own work group on ethics, on participating in that initiative and in framing for the ambassadors themselves their own AI ethics initiatives. So they're starting that work group is starting to meet. We encourage everybody to participate. Everybody here at SingularityNet, cares deeply about these topics and to participate in the ethics initiative, which will start with some very interesting surveys to start to gather this ethics alignment information from the wider community and beyond, and then in the ambassador work group as well. So that's my shout out there. We also published the Supervisory Council. The recent Supervisory Council finished the blueprint. We've got it's an amazing document full of a lot of different experiments and directions that SingularityNET can begin to explore and initiate to decentralize itself entirely, much as the deep funding and ambassadors have formed great decentralized governance structures for themselves. SingularityNET needs to build and have these for itself as well. By the time we have AGI, SingularityNET must be decentralized. That's the entire point and purpose and goal and vision and need that SingularityNET is built around. So the blueprint has been published. I encourage everyone to check it out. It is a very weighty document, very complete. We really appreciate the Supervisory Council taking so much time and effort and care in building it. We will be breaking it down into a lot of digestible content over the coming weeks so that everybody can understand what's there, and so that we can, as a community, as the body of singularitarians, decide how and which pieces we want to act on first and move that forward. So we're looking forward to promoting and bringing that forward to the entire community. And again, much gratitude to the Supervisory Council, and we are excitedly looking forward to the next election of probably a community council for the next round, with a little bit different focus now that we have the blueprint. So I think that's all of our presenters. If I missed anybody, I apologize. We'll try and go a little bit quicker in future so that we can get more community questions. We have so much great community here, but I do want to be sensitive to everybody's time and go ahead and call it good for today. So thank you all for joining. Thanks to all of our speakers. Thanks to all of our community. And this has been so much fun. We really appreciate everybody being here and sharing and seeing the great, complex, fascinating way that the SingularityNET ecosystem is shaping. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you again next month.